Sony is apparently halting sales of the PS Vita, also production as well. Production and sales kind of going one on one, of the PS Vita in Japan soon. But I don't. Soon isn't a timetable, but it says soon. Either way, though, so when looking at this article, and again, it will be down below. It's in the chat if you're watching this live on our Twitch. It's down below in the description box if you're watching this on our YouTube channel. The official PlayStation website reports that the production of PCH-2000 space ZA11 Black and PCH-2000 ZA23 Aqua Blue models of the PlayStation Vita handheld gaming platform is scheduled to end soon. Which I hate that it doesn't give us a date, because when it says soon, everyone's going to be like, we need a Vita. Even though it's like, you don't need to stockpile Vitas for the apocalypse. Like, yes, they're gone soon, but even with the Wii U's, Wii U's have started going down in price. So, like, you don't need to stockpile Vitas for the apocalypse, guys. No one, I think, is going to be paying that much for a Vita in the future. Not that it wouldn't want a Vita. I actually want a Vita. But it's not like they, it's not like they're going to be paying that much for them in the future, in my opinion. So, when looking at, so Sony Interactive Entertainment, SIE, announced last September that production of the PS Vita will halt in Japan this year. And CIE, so this year being 2019, and SIE Senior Vice President Hiroyuki Oda said that the company has no plans for a successor system to the PS Vita, which I think, like, I'm happy that he weighed in, but he didn't have to. Like, all he had to do was just show the sales numbers for the actual PS Vita and just kind of walk away briskly. Like, I think if anyone is sitting back, like, what? No, why wouldn't they make a PS Vita? It's like, again, just look at the numbers. Like, also the fact that the memory cards were so expensive. I know that the PSP also had proprietary memory cards, I believe, but still, to have the Vita memory cards being that expensive and not holding that much, I think that definitely hindered it, in my opinion. Also, the fact that, and it's just a personal gripe because my dad had a Vita. My personal gripe with it is, I just would like if the I just would have liked if the Vita had actually been able to actually connect with PS4 games more often, and not just certain games that also then had a PS Vita physical release. So what I mean by that, guys, is, well, it's amazing that I could, like, connect to my PS3 and, let's say, take Crash Bandicoot 3 on the go, right? That was, or Crash Bandicoot the original. No, sorry. On my PS3, I don't think I have the original. I know I have 2 and 3. So if I could take 2 on the go, that was fun. I remember I tested it with my dad's Vita, I believe, and it was nice, right? But I would have loved to be able to take games that I played on the go, that I had available on the PS3 or the PS4. Games like WWE 2K16 and 17, or 15 actually at the time. That's when I had. Just a bunch of other games, even some Japanese stuff as well. Now, I know you have to get the developers on board with that, and it's not just a 1-2 trickaroo thing that, like, oh, just snap your fingers and it works. Like, no, a lot of work has to go into it, and I get it. But it is just extremely frustrating that, with as many games that are available on both the Vita and the PlayStation 3, 4, games that I bought were not available on the Vita. And if there were Vita versions, you could digitally play one on the other, then I could just buy it on the Vita or buy it on the PS4. So it was definitely frustrating, because I really do wish that they incorporated that more, because to me it felt like that was a great selling point. And now, of course, you have it with the Switch. So it definitely seems like they refine that idea, Nintendo in that case, and now it's like, yeah, it just becomes a handheld on the go. So so it doesn't have to, connect to a console. It is the console and handheld. So looking at the Vita, if it could have connected to the console more, or at least for games that I purchased, which again, I don't have that many PS4, PS3 games, to be fair, but if it was able to work in some way or another, I'd have been happier. So I think that's why, in my opinion, it's like the Vita did not do well, and I think that there not being another plan for the Vita, that's good. Like, Sony should be focusing on the PS5, and then maybe if the PS5 does well, especially with backwards compatibility, that's when you release a handheld that, again, you focus very hard on not just backward compatibility, but compatibility with a decent chunk of your Sony library. So, and even other companies' libraries as well, even if it's just a few games here and there, still trying with something, because I was happy to hear that, just like with the Switch, Vita was also very indie friendly, especially now with a lot of the cartridges that are out. but games that are being released for the Vita. But it's just frustrating that if I just want to play a AAA game or some other type of game, that I feel like I can't on either the Vita or on or just specifically on the Vita, or even like just transferring it over or something like that, and I have to sit back and be like, well, I have to either buy on the PS4, and my Vita is collecting dust. Now, I know some people will say that about the Switch, that it feels like it's collecting dust, but it just feels nice to be able to have it, be combined handheld and console mode, so that I can take it on the go when needed. So I don't care, especially with my very limited funds, I don't care about having to only buy a few games for the Switch. But when it comes to the Vita, a lot of it was either available on the PS4, or had ports later when the Vita was sadly really not doing well. Or another thing to look at as well is the fact that, again, didn't connect as much, right? Like, if I could have played WWE on the go, even if it looked worse, maybe not as bad as the newest WWE game on the Switch does, the 2K game, but still, even if it looked bad, I would have been good with that. But, while it is sad that it seems like the Vita production is ending soon, in Japan, I understand it. It's sad, but I understand it, especially when I think that they gave it their all, in the sense that the Vita launched in Japan on December 17th, 2011. I mean, it's almost 8 years, guys. It launched in Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, North and Latin America, Europe, and PAL territories, and Singapore, February 22nd, 2012. So again, it's been a little over 7 years when it comes to everywhere else. So yeah, I mean, it's just, and the system sold more than 1.2 million units worldwide as of February 26, 2012. Ooh. Oh, well, that's still, that hurts. That hurts a lot. So, again, I'm not saying it's a bad system. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it, but I get it. It sucks, but, hopefully you can still pick one up in the future. And, and please tell me down below if you want to recommend me any games. Maybe I'll pick one up, but I definitely do feel as if, I get it. If you want to disagree with me, though, please do down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this story. But, it's just, it hurts. It hurts all of us, to have a console like this, especially with the PSP. I'm not going to say it did well necessarily, because software sales weren't that well. Hardware sales were great, but software wasn't. But I really enjoyed the PSP. I have 2 of them. Like, I really enjoyed it because one of them isn't working as hot. It's not working as well as it used to be. So, but I really do love the PSP. But the Vita, I just try to win me over, right? Like, try to tell me down below, no, this game is so good and it's only available on the Vita, you have to get the Vita, because I would love to test it out and I would love to see what the Vita can offer me. But as of right now, I feel like there are so many games that, especially indie games, it's great they're getting Vita releases, but you could also get them on the PC or on other consoles as well. I like physical. I really do like physical, but, I don't know. I just tell me what you guys think down below.